Sofyan Amrabat could solve two problems for Manchester United. Man Utd new boy Sofyan Amrabat impressed in his first start for the club against Crystal Palace on Tuesday night. Sofyan Amrabat was only on the pitch for 60 minutes, but in that hour it became obvious why Erik ten Hag was so eager to sign him. Not a lot has gone right for Manchester United so far this season. Even the wins have been uninspiring affairs in which they were fortunate to come away with 3 points, and the less said about the defeats the better. But there was finally something to smile about on Tuesday. It might have only been a win against an injury-ravaged Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, but you have to take the positives where you can find them. It was a dominant performance, an exciting display, and one that has finally sparked a bit of optimism. It's nearly October, but it might just kick-start their season. There was plenty to be happy about. Alejandro Garnacho performing from the first minute, Mason Mount showing what he can do, Casemiro back to being Casemiro, Anthony Martial returning to the scoresheet in a solid defensive display. But best of all was the outing for Amrabat. The Moroccan was signed as a much-needed defensive midfielder but made his start for the club at left-back before moving into midfield at half-time. It was a fine full debut and one that promises to solve two big problems United have had this season. Though a left-back on paper, Amrabat played the inverted fullback role that has been made popular by Manchester City in 2023, particularly by John Stones. It sees one of the defenders moving up into midfield when the team has possession to allow another midfielder to push higher and open more passing lanes. United tried to implement it earlier in the season to disastrous effect. Ten Hag instructed Mount to push high up the pitch from his double pivot starting position, and Luke Shaw was the one tasked with stepping up to take his spot. It did not work. As United were so poor at keeping possession in their opening matches, Shaw was repeatedly caught between two positions, unable to get into midfield before the ball was lost, leaving both his flank open and Casemiro completely outnumbered. United defeated Wolves on the opening day, but they shouldn't have done. The visitors cut through United's midfield at will, with Casemiro often having 4 opponents with 10 yards of him without any backup. Only poor finishing and saves from Andre Onana secured the win. They weren't so lucky against Tottenham, who took advantage of the space in the middle gifted to them. Shaw has made a living out of being a classic fullback, buccaneering up his flank to provide attacking support and coming back to defend. It's no shame that he struggled when asked to come inside, and United also missed his prowess on the wing. But, in contrast, Amrabat has proven he can do the role. It was only against a second-string Palace side, and bigger challenges are ahead, but Amrabat was able to constantly move up the pitch to give Mount freedom to attack and help build up moves himself. With Shaw sidelined for the foreseeable, Amrabat might be his ideal replacement, as it could allow for Ten Hag to implement his preferred system. If that gets the best out of Mount from a midfield role rather than having to farm him out wide, then all the better. It may mean Bruno Fernandes will have to continue deputizing on the right in the absence of Jadon Sancho and Antony, but it worked well at Turf Moor, and Hannibal is continuing to apply himself well. Whether Amrabat starts in midfield or moves there from defense in the upcoming matches, Amrabat's confidence and quality on the ball is only going to help the side. United have been stodgy so far this season, unable to keep hold of the ball or sustain pressure. Their passing has just not been good enough. Amrabat can help change that. In the first half alone against Palace, he completed more passes with 65 than Scott McTominay has managed in 203 minutes of action, which stands at just 49. It's not to criticize McTominay too harshly, as he is a player with uses, but he has never been a good passer of the ball, and the fact he is still starting important matches when that's required is holding the side back. Of players who started the match, Amrabat had the highest successful passing rate with 96%, completing 78 out of 81. Casemiro played for half an hour longer and only managed to make 22 more passes. Amrabat's ability on the ball is going to make United a better team in possession and get them closer to what Ten Hag wants. It's only an hour and tougher matches are on the horizon, but Amrabat might be about to solve two of United's biggest problems.